let's just put it this way. I'm going to make a video about the mandates. And it makes me mad. Because what our government is doing right now is not great. Throughout the 2 years that we have had from what happened over in COVID and now with Biden and all the others, even with the trucker protests been happening over in Canada and here in the United States, is that we have hated what our government's been doing. And it's wrong to make these truckers get a vaccine that only their doctor should tell them if it's okay. Because of the adverse effects and other things. And the climate that we're in right now is stupid, is wrong. If I was in Congress right now, I would be telling the vice president, the president of this very country, United States itself, to stop it. And to try to change things, like, quickly. Like, for the most part, let's put it this way, the vaccines are fine. But they do have some, they can have some effect to pre-existing conditions and as well with any current conditions that are chronic. But yet, none of these politicians are doctors, so they don't know what to do. And even when they start listening to doctors, they only listen to doctors that get paid by them. So it is not likely we're going to have like real doctors that will tell what we should do in case with COVID or anything else. Even when some people have some pre-existing conditions, can make their pre-existing conditions even worse, or give them something else in the mix, which is quite stupid. Because I don't want regular Americans to get any conditions at all that make their health worse. And this is always come to the problem with our pharmaceutical companies right now. They're getting paid lots of money from our government to bring out, say, opioids or any drugs that has opioids into it. Because that's became what the addiction problem back then many years ago. Until Trump came along and just took away the opioids, make them illegal. So now we no longer have the opioid addiction problems. We still got fentanyl and all those other things that are coming into this country, which even killed George Floyd. Even though, yes, some parts of it was the cop, but let's just put it this way. He got high on fentanyl, but fentanyl becomes a very deadly thing. And with all these drugs that we have in this country, it's like we don't have any true, real medical treatments or even cure for anything. See, many of people who have like pre-existing condition or even chronic conditions. Like I have one, which is tinnitus. And now it's not life-threatening, but let's just put it this way: there are people out there that can have from mild to moderate ringing in the ear or ear tones and sounds in the ear, and only something like this gonna pop out. Damn it! Now I gotta put it back in the ear because I'm hearing it, which is supposed to help me not hearing it. Oh, relief. Right now I'm just hearing the furnace going on, so now it makes me not hear the ringing, which is good. It's the only other thing that helps me. And these are kind of one of the good treatments. I'm not going to say it's wrong. But I would like to say it's like a cure to reduce this thing to where it is barely noticeable. Now, we do have drugs in the clinical trials for some like those, including for hearing loss regeneration treatments, which are coming out there, which is good. And for many other things that should be able to be doing for regeneration. We should get into research on that. But instead we don't. We just throw in medicine for people to say, oh, okay, we'll take this pill for your heart or for your back pain, whatever. But it's nothing to help out with, your bones, your muscles, your eyes, your ears, your liver, your heart, your lungs. There's nothing out there that can help out, that can reduce chronic conditions. We need to look into that right away. We need to fund these private companies out there that are trying to find ways to help out with chronic conditions. And yet we don't. Even with the ways how right now with the government is just that they're making money out of these companies. You know, not funding these certain other companies that want to actually make a cure for something or just a treatment that can reduce your problems. They can make your life much more easier. I mean, you would still have the condition, but it'd be more resolved. And you probably still need to have some sort of things, like how with my condition, I had to use a hearing aid. But let's say for this matter, say with an eye condition. Say that with a regeneration medicine that can come out, that can regenerate the vision of your eye. You know, fix where problems that is your vision, where kind of condition that's causing your vision, to rejuvenate some of those problems. Like say the optic lenses or your cornea or whatever that is in your eye. Just inject a little thing in there, make sure that it regrows in your head. And from when that helps, you then tend to have part of your vision comes back. Maybe not have a full 100% vision back, but you have at least enough to read, you know, or that sort. Because with regeneration medicine right now is like very hard to make because it's still in research. But at least when you research and you start to learn new things, and you can actually start to know what certain medicines that can actually help out, and any new form of like really good medicines that can actually do the things that need to be done. Let's say for your heart, your lungs, your eyes, your ears, you know, your bowel movements, your stomach, your liver, your bladder, kidneys, all these important organs in your arms and legs that you need, you know, just to help out. Even when people are amputated, I mean, we already have like 2 or 3 different things that helps them out. Wheelchair for people who have lost limbs, prosthetic legs for those people who have lost limbs that can walk again, or have mechanical arms that can actually now move to some certain degree of movement. You know, there's even one where I looked into. It's kind of like a mechanical machine that is attached to your arm. It becomes paralyzed if you have a stroke. Okay, and it helps just by turning your fingers to make it go up and down just by the movement of your fingers. When you're gripping it, then you grip the whole hand, and it allows you to pick up things because your arm has no strength left to pick up heavy objects anymore. I mean, that's still a good thing. Technology is good. And, you know, I made so many different videos about certain different ideals. And one of them is about being a cyborg. One, you know, maybe someday in the far future people become cyborgs, but that's just like a whole different, like, weird way of saying things. What could we have in the far future? But with modern medicine, trying to get more and more advanced every day, and yet we gotta wait for years until they come out. Instead of just like saying, hey, how about we just bring them out right now? Give them a try. See what they can do. It may not help for everybody, but at least there are numbers of different medicines that can help out for some people out there. And we keep continuing making these things over the years and keep improving them, advancing them. They may even get better. And then people like me will not have to have this hearing aid to not listen to a certain condition that is going to bother me. Maybe one day we can find a way how to get rid of it. Get rid of all these chronic conditions where they will no longer have to bother us for the rest of our lives. You know? So that way we can go back to being truly normal. Because there are people that have like mental health issues with some of these chronic conditions. And, you know, it's like, and that should be what the thing is. instead of pushing a vaccine that no one has no idea that can give out adverse effects, unless they don't study them. You don't talk to your doctor and you get the vaccine out. Or like what's going on up in Canada or the United States here with the trucker mandate protests. They don't want to get the vaccine. They don't know what's going on. And without these truckers, we won't have our food, or have our clothing, and all of our things. People will just be out there starving and naked. You know? Hell, even if our jobs get... if the government kind of takes away our jobs, then we have no job to pay our bills, pay our rent or mortgage. There'd be millions of people homeless. And this is the wrong thing to go with. So I say, that the government should be looking into doing the right things instead of the wrong things. But because with what happened, what's been going on, we have now become the sheep of the government, instead of becoming the people that should be going up against the government and tell them, no more mandates, no more nothing. So that way we can actually have our peace again, we have our own problems, and have them trying to find real medical, cures or treatments that can actually help us out with our own chronic conditions, or mild conditions, or moderate conditions, or any kind of conditions, to alleviate that problem, to alleviate the pain, the suffering that's given us mental anguish. I mean, it may come up to some point that some people may will kill themselves, and we need to alleviate that too. But then again, they just want something that can get rid of the problem. Instead of being on a chair all the time feeling in pain, how about get rid of that pain? Get rid of the annoying ringing in the ear. Get rid of the annoyingness of eye pain, of all these different things. Regeneration medicine should be out. Like some sort of medication that can reduce pain relief, that doesn't have to have some addictive qualities into it. Something out there that can actually help out with people. So that way they can live their lives easily without any problems at all. So that way their mental anguish will not be there. Because that's one of the parts of the mental health issues that's been going on in this country. I mean, I'm sure people who do have mental health issues, they tend to create themselves, or sometimes even the environment itself has it. And we do have medicines out there that help them, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. But then again, it's also could people live with these chronic conditions that are giving them pain or suffering, or sometimes even some annoyances into them? We need medicines out there that can help with all of our problems. I've been reading mostly for what my condition is to, I'd probably say there's probably other people who are looking to other sites out there that are trying to look into, I think, with real seizures, epilepsies problems, trying to reduce them. Maybe help to alleviate some of that problems again. We want all these things to happen. Just that to help out with people, and so that way they can live normally. That's all we want. That's all we want. We don't want to live in pain or in fear. And maybe one day, once a true cure comes out to eliminate most of our chronic problems, get rid of them completely, or have a combination of things that can actually help out to become that true cure in a package, to where you not only just reduce the problem, but then start to eliminate all at once. First reduce it to a mild portion, and then just eliminate that mild proportion completely. I mean, one whole package is like, bam, double knockout. That'd be great, huh? But that would be within years. And I'd probably be dead. Me, my generation, the past generation, and the future generation will all be gone. Mostly because we will not see these kind of things happen because it still takes a long time to understand the human body. We do have the technology and the science for it, and it keeps growing as our next generation gets smarter and understand the human body better. Then they can map out what to do with the human body and actually make, not just only for the physical body, but also the mind as well. We can actually try to alter autism one day. You know, maybe with mental issue problems or some mental conditions that evolves within the brain. You know, like speech impediment or whatever. And we can correct that problem. We can correct anything with technology or with just some sort of chemical-based thing. One day we'll have that. All right. Well, this is my rant about vaccines, and the government. Like I said, the government should not force us to get into something that we don't need. If it's like I said, if I go to say a doctor and I say, okay, I have a problem with, like, say, my shoulder, and I need something, so he would examine my shoulder, start seeing what needs to be done. The government, I cannot go to a politician and say, well, I have this pain on my shoulder. What do you think you should do? Get vaccinated, just for a shoulder problem. No, a politician is not your doctor. They can say, oh, well, this kind of drug will help eliminate everything. No. If a vaccine were to become the cure for all things, like delivering a genetic engineered cell that can regenerate and alleviate all of our problems, both mentally and physically, I'll be down for it if that ever happens. But we're not into that part yet. That's like fiction.